Hello everybody! Remember this old intro I used to do? Well, I decided to bring it back. So, as you probably noticed by the title of this video, this set that we're looking at today for today's LEGO review is a particularly big one. This is the big, I'm not going to say bad, but this is the huge, biggest floatable ship up to date currently, unless LEGO makes more of these floatable boats in the future. Now, these big ship builds are some of my absolute favorites because, well, given the fact that they can float on actual water, I don't need to demonstrate it. You can probably imagine what it's like. And yeah, this isn't my first big floatable boat though. Like I had like a fire boat and then a police boat, both using a very similar ship mold, which would then allow it to float on water. So I can see this is definitely a set. If you're a kid, if you have a little kid or something, definitely will have a blast playing in a bathtub or something. Wouldn't recommend bringing to a public pool. Definitely would not, because this thing is a whopping like $200, I think, or maybe less. Definitely more than 100. I don't quite remember the price. I'm pretty sure it's 200, but you definitely don't want to bring this to a public pool without it getting stolen, because I promise you this will be stolen if you're not responsible enough. But yeah, definitely, seeing everything here, this will look like something a kid will have a lot of fun with playing at home. And this is my third ever floatable boat, so there is quite a lot to offer here. And well, let's get right to it. So this is the Ocean Exploration Ship from the LEGO City Summer 2020 wave. Okie dokie, here is the box for the set. As you can see, this is I believe a $200 set, so this box, it is pretty big without a doubt. It's a huge box, but there's a lot going on in this box, so that's good. Shows you up there the ship can float, shows you the character for this set, which is Haro Hubs, yeah. And on this side, yes, this set does support the National Geographic Deep Sea Explorers. This is basically based off them as a team. So I'm totally with that idea. That's pretty nice. Doing a LEGO set based off actual people in real life. So this is set 60266 with 745 pieces. And then let's see the back of the box. Actually, there's stuff up here too that just shows you the other side built, the shark, the cave. We'll get to that in a second. Submarine does not float. That's very important for some people who are too dumb enough to realize a submarine can't float. Okay, back of the box. So on the back of the box, basically your nitpick stuff, another angle of the ship, some photographs of real life deep sea exploration. We've got a shipwreck here. We've got an actual picture of a real life great white shark, and this shows you all the different play features that you can do, and yeah, and just showing you some of the other stuff and other different scenarios you can play with. So yeah, what more can I say? This box is huge, lots of stuff in the box. Let's take a look what's inside the box, and that is it for the box. So first and foremost, you can already tell this is a pretty big ship. And like I said, this is the biggest ship so far LEGO has created. Maybe in the future they'll make a ship even bigger. By the record, as of 2020, this is the biggest ship. So big that, as you can see, when I'm turning this thing around, you can literally see my fingers. Usually you don't. That's how far zoomed out I needed the camera to be. But regardless, this big ship is actually just two of the single molded big mold ship piece just merged together into one to create a whole ship like this. So that's one way LEGO kind of did, kind of like get the cheated, I would say. Yeah, well, I'd probably say cheated to like create it. But of course, regardless, this just by my first glance, my first glance of the set, definitely this will be a set a kid will have a blast with. Now, wait, you're gonna have to hold this with 2 hands because the connection point of these two is I'm not gonna say it's weak, but it's definitely not super strong. You can't rely on it. You really can't. So if you're holding this thing, you're gonna have to use both hands to hold this up. It's not too heavy. It is on the heavy side, but it ain't too bad. Now, first and foremost, printing is on the outside of the ship. The only major thing is actually the sticker right here. There's no sticker on this side, so it's all empty, and it's purely just this side because the way the ship is supposed to move is this is the front, back is over there. So yeah, so that's nice. And apart from that, we can actually start zooming into the ship and looking at the little elements inside as detailed as possible. So let's get right to it. So we might as well start off from the front, because why not? So starting the very front right here, you can see there is a little cargo box which you can just simply remove. It is modular, so that's good. The lid here is just minifigure plate, and currently there's nothing inside, but I'm just gonna assume you can put the tools of the minifigures inside, or if you know, combine this with some other sets, then you can put your whatever you find in this cargo and just lock it up like this. Come on, there we go, and just put it up there, just like that, very easily. Excuse me for the long pauses. I have a kind of a sore throat, so I can't, you know, talk too fast. So there is a little chopper up here, a little helicopter. This thing can be removed with the helicopter pad right here. So you simply sit this on here, and the helicopter works just brilliantly. But the helicopter actually acts as a lock. What do I mean by that? We'll get to that in a second, because I want to first show you the helicopter itself. So let's take it off, and you can see the helicopter is just a very basic build. The rotors, super straightforward. The tail propeller, super straightforward. Got a little siren at the back here. Then the main pilot seat, you gotta have to like move put the motors like this, and then lift the front window up. Inside you fit your minifigure right inside here, just like that. You just close it back up. So there's no side windows. So this thing is open on the side. Kinda a little bit disappointed with the look of this helicopter, but after all, it is a search and rescue helicopter. You can really tell with the big camera / flashlight on the side here. But I honestly feel like this helicopter could have been built better. It is my least favorite thing of the set for sure, because I at least have a decent build where the sides of the front window here is nicely covered up. But yeah, so I'm a little bit disappointed by it. For a $200 set, that is a big set. They could have really, you know, just put a little more finesse. I mean, after all, this you're paying the big bucks for this set anyway, so you might as well just make your money's worth a little more. So yeah, this helicopter is honestly very disappointing. But the helicopter, like I said, it acts like a lock. And what is a lock? Well, first and foremost, it's got this actual helicopter landing pad there, which is very nice. But right underneath the helicopter pad, it stores something else. And to access it, you just simply got to remove this, or not really remove this. It actually acts like a door, like a hatch. So you just open this up, and inside is a submarine. We'll take a look at that submarine in a second. But yeah, you see, it's basically a very convenient way of storing, you know, storing other stuff. Maybe you don't have to store the submarine. You can store many other things. But you got space inside. You can always take out the submarine and put something else. But the default way of this set is the fact that it is to store this submarine. So let's take out the actual submarine. Nothing of the fanciest. It is a pretty small build. I don't even know if you can see it. Hang on, I gotta zoom out for a second. There you go, it's like that. So very straightforward, very basic submarine. Got a single propeller back here. It's a very big window here, and so to access the inside, you just gotta move this down and just stick your minifigure inside, or move this all the way up if you want your life even easier. Just stick this all the way up, then you have full accessibility to put your minifigure in. Just close this back down. This thing does have tiny arms. Yeah, kind of tiny, but they are, you know, movable. And I almost tore this apart. But yeah, at the very end, their claws is just these single axle pins or whatever you call them. But yeah, they are articulable. So this is like a miniaturized version of the ocean exploration submarine set. Definitely though, I am a big fan of this. I really like this mini submarine build. It's very nice. Now, there's one more thing that's very important, and sometimes you gotta leave this open for a good reason. Now, you may be wondering, wait, this thing is sitting inside here. So if we think of this logistically, how are we gonna haul this out? Well, that's where this main crane comes in. The middle part of the ship, as you probably have noticed by now, is this giant hole. And this is meant to be done on purpose because in the middle, this is, if you think about it, if this is on water, there's water here, it's the ocean here, essentially. And this crane basically is doing all the work. And this is where people can, you know, lower the submarine into the water, lower this cage into the water without having to, of course, jump off the sides, because that's just stupid. So that hole is there for a reason. I mean, it is a way to take up a lot of space on the ship, but it works. The crane itself is probably one of my favorite things of the ship. It is completely on rails. You can move this back and forth. And wait, but first I need to, you see it's holding a diver's cage. I'm just gonna take this out for a second. Just quickly show the diver's cage right now. So this is the other thing that the crane can hold if you don't want to hold the submarine. Just open this up with there's a light right here, and you just fit a scuba diver inside. Then you put it on the crane right here. You gotta make sure it actually hooks though. And then just turn the knob and lower it in. Now, this thing is really long, so if you actually put this on water, I'm pretty sure you can move this crane all the way down and bring the cage all the way to like the bottom of your bathtub or something. So yeah, it's good. And cage itself, very straightforward build. And if you don't know what these diving cages are for, it's so divers can be safe. You know, when they're in the cage, they can take photos of, like, you know, sharks swimming around them without the risk of them being attacked or like the tide being pulling them away. So it's basically a safety net, and that's what they are. But the other thing you can attach with the crane, of course, is the submarine. But first, for the submarine, you gotta open up the main window, because that is where this hook, the hole is for the hook to, you know, latch onto the submarine. So let's reenact this scenario. So the scuba divers are getting ready to deploy the submarine into the water. So of course, like I said, this entire crane works on as a rail system, can go up and down. Unfortunately, it's a little frictiony because these pieces are still new, but after, I'm pretty sure once you play with them for a while, they'll start to relax and get used to it. Then it won't be so frictiony. So move it here. The crane can reach, it's just long enough to reach all the way to the submarine storage. So that's good. It's actually, the measurements is done quite impressive here. Now there's one knob one gear at the back here. See, as I'm turning right here like this, it's lowering and raising the crane, and then this wheel up here will lower and raise the actual hook. So move this down, and then we gotta hook this to the submarine. Wonderful. And then now we're gonna pull the knob, pull the submarine up. It is, you know, this side's a little heavier, so gravity will kind of screw it up a little bit. And then we can rotate this. Yes, this thing can rotate 360 degrees. Very, very useful. Let's move this up. Like that. So it doesn't, or if you want, it doesn't have to rotate and just stay in the same direction and then just back all the way up. It still works brilliantly as long as there's enough space to actually drop the submarine in. But just for the logistics, oh god, don't do it so violently. Lift it all the way up if you want, and then we can turn this around like that beautifully, and then start to lower this thing. And then definitely try not to hit the sides of the ship. Don't follow what I'm doing, just push it in a little bit. And then you lower the crane. and drop this right into the middle, or in this case you drop it right into the water. So it's a very good play, very good play feature, and that's how you can reenact the whole system of the submarine being deployed. Now, like I said, because you gotta open up the thing for it to attach the hook, gravity will do its part because this side will be a little heavier, so be prepared. It's gonna drag it down like this. So let's remove the submarine, let's put it back into storage, and close that up, and we can do the same thing with the cage. Just put it back right on here. You can just lower this, or actually raise this a bit, and then actually, yeah, we're just gonna turn this back around and push this all the way back. There you go, like the way it was before. So one of the key play features, but a very good play feature, and definitely the crane, absolutely nice. You know, the function of it works brilliantly, and it just looks good. It's got a sticker on it which says which it can haul cargo up to 20 tons. So there's that, and yeah, it's done pretty nicely. We can put the helicopter back onto this. I just realized we can lock it in place. Okay, and then moving on now through on the sides. The sides is also covered pretty nicely. You've got these flat tile pieces, same thing on the other side, so it provides some good coverage, and it will help create the railings, you know, for the crane to move backwards and forward. And then right here there's like a little drawbridge here, and this works in two ways, and this is a brilliant design by Lego. When this thing is docked up against the docks or something, you can actually lift this up, and this just becomes a walkway from the docks, and then walk on the actual ship. But the true intention of this thing is actually to hide the fact that if you lift this up, there's a hole here, and that's to hide the fact that this is two big ship mold pieces. And of course, when connecting, it's gonna look awkward seeing like a gap here. So Lego is so brilliant to do the drawbridge like this, and when you fold it right down, it covers it up like nothing has happened. That is very sneaky, but in a good way. And in case you are wondering, same thing is possible for the other side. Lift this up, ta-da, to reveal the exposed bit. Of course, you can kind of see it from the inside, but you don't really see it from the inside because, you know, the crane is right there to cover it up. So that's a brilliant play in my books. I think that is brilliant. It's sneaky, but pretty brilliant. Now, one more little, or the last half, or yeah, the last third, if you will, of the ship, of course, is this main building, or the main command deck right here. But first, before we take a look inside the command deck itself, there's another crane here, a much smaller, not so impressive as the main crane. It has a lifeboat here, you know, just in case, you know, just in case for another deployment. And this thing is on ratchet, so you just move this up. And can it touch all the way to the bottom? Of course it can. Let me show you. Wonderful. I'm down here, and as you can see, the lifeboat is hitting the table brilliantly. So, up the scale, and of course the crane can be moved all the way here, all the way here. But this is in case for like emergency situations, then this thing can be deployed all the way down, just like this. That is of course a brilliant play feature, and there is a white stud here which acts as a stand to, you know, hold the lifeboat up, just like that. The lifeboat itself, it's okay. Not a new piece for sure. We've gotten this piece before, but the build again it's very plain. But what do you expect? It's not, you can't expect too much out of it. It's got the propellers at the end, and yeah, apart from that, not a bad boat. It's simple, but you know, it's not the main important factor of this boat, so don't really need to focus on so many details in that, and that's good. Now, the main deck itself, or the command deck. First thing you gotta notice, the sides here. There is lights, headlights. And these are totally adjustable. You can move this all the way up if you like. I just prefer it like this because, you know, it gives more body to the ship. Can be moved up and down. So if this thing was traveling at night, these are exactly what you need, the lights to keep the waters illuminated, because of course there's no street lamps in the ocean, so these lights are good. And of course you can stick a minifigure on the side just to control the lights if you want, and that works really, really well. And in case you are wondering, the same thing can be seen on this side. There's also the same exact light build right here. So, pretty nice. And then, of course, you'll notice more lights up here. You got the ship horns right here, you know, when they make the loud, like the really loud horn noises. Yeah, they're right here. And then the propeller, steam engines right here. These are the big chimneys spewing out the steam engines as this thing is going. Very nice build, without a doubt. That's done very well. But it just looks presentable. What more can I say? Yes, there is a cabinet here though. And what does that do, you may ask? Well, if I can get it open, I can perhaps show you. When you open up these doors, it just simply gives you access inside the command deck, and then there's just ladders down here, and that's like your minifigure way of entering it. But of course, this is Lego, and it is modular. And how we get inside the ship, you just simply remove the roof and everything else. So first and foremost, we can remove this first, and then I'm going to remove the roof. Actually, you're right, I almost forgot. To remove the actual roof, you don't remove the whole piece. It just simply flips up like this. Like that. You don't really have to so I guess that's better than removing the whole piece. But now, as you can see, you have the whole access to the inside. You can see there's the steering wheels, control panels. That's like the main wheel steering thing right there. Yeah, enough for 2 drivers of the ship. Seeing it from another angle, and just, yeah, you just fold this back up to simply close it in. And the windows, lots of windows, done very well. Now that I've removed this part, we can actually see there's actually more right inside this ship. May have to do an overshot right here. There we are. You can see these are beds. These are beds with like a goldfish tank right there. And yeah, this is where, you know, if your scuba divers are really tired after a long day of exploring underwater, you can sit them right in here and just have a good nap. And the same thing for here. This can fit 2 scuba divers, or for 2 minifigures. It doesn't have to be scuba divers, but yeah. Okay, let me turn this around now. So you can see it is the same thing on this side. It's just the prints on the fish tank is different. Instead of a fish, this one is a seahorse. So is that, and yeah, I think that's a sneaky little way of hiding another play feature. Definitely this will fit the minifigures pretty well, without a doubt. And then if you're wondering what these holes are on the side, they're just simply windows to see. I can't really get the camera in there to show you guys, but they are windows. They are windows. I almost forgot to show you guys just one more little level in the main command deck. I almost skipped past it till I realized, oh shoot. So there's actually one more level. As you can see, we showed you this earlier, the top level and then the bedrooms, but there's another level. Let's take that off. So this is the area I nearly forgot to show you guys. So we're gonna tilt this up and show you right there. It's just simply a dining place, or like a meeting place. See, there's 4 seats right there at the table. And then if we move it to, just gonna say we move it to this side, just get 2 computers. And I don't know if you can see what's on the computers too well. You can see it's just the radar and just the overall blueprint of the ship, you know, just to make sure the surroundings of the ship is okay. And there's a keyboard right there. And then we turn this around again, you can see right here, there is a coffee machine. Very important for these scuba divers to, you know, get their caffeine and focus as they explore the trenches of the ocean. And then finally, and on this side, just another fish tank right there with a bunch of tropical fish. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but on the very right there is starfish instead of fish. That's pretty nice. These fish tank pieces are definitely really cool. Without a doubt, they're very nice. And yeah, so this is the inside of the ship, because this actually goes like inside the ship mold. So yeah, so I nearly forgot to show you this level. Thank God I remember. Thank God I noticed it last second or anything or something. All right, let's continue on with the other stuff of the set. Yeah. So to simply put this back on, you just do this. Just slap that bad boy right back on here. Very, very easy. And that's the ship. We've basically gone over everything about the ship. I'm sorry this thing is not totally in frame, because you know the size of this thing is huge. And once again, this is based off the real life model, because this set is in support of National Geographic. So I'm gonna say I am very impressed with this ship overall. I can really see it being utilized on actual water, though the ship is a little heavy, so I have a slight feeling it might sink a little bit into the water. But yeah, I'm gonna say this will probably be a really fun set to play with. So what more can I say? I'm a big fan of this ship. The crane's nice. Submarine's nice. Yeah, I think I've said enough. So that's the ship, but that's not all. Let's take a look at the other stuff. Another little side build thing here. This is a shipwreck, so you would have to pretend you're underwater for this. But yeah, it's a very nice shipwreck build. I am genuinely very impressed with this, and the sand at the bottom, the little coral reef growing out of it. Got the little pirate sticker right on it. Looks awesome. I will say that the steering wheel is kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit lazily put on there, but it's a shipwreck. They can do whatever they want. And yeah, what more can I say? This thing is just, it's really nice for something so similar, so simple. The mast itself, very nice. These are all axle pins, and yeah, you do hear there's like a little thing inside. Well, I'll get to that in a second, because it hides something. So if I remove this part, or not really move, but like lift this up, it acts like a trapdoor, and inside is 3 bars of gold attached to a little slab. So yeah, you can actually get treasure from the ship. I guess that's what the ocean exploration team is coming after, is to get the gold bars hidden within. So just simply slide this back right in, and of course it's not attached, so if you move this left and right, you will hear the thing move around. And apart from that, yeah, everything else built very simply here. And this is just an awesome side build, very detailed side build, and for once it's actually a side build I'm very, very impressed with. So don't underestimate this. Definitely, this is a very nice side build. So two more little things, the minifigures and then the animals included in this set. Let's take a look at the animals first. And here are the animals. You got a stingray, which is, I believe, a new animal, and this thing, one of my absolute favorite things about this set. This is a shark, but not just any shark. This is a brand new shark figure, not the old ones. This one is a lot bigger. This is actually twice as big as the older shark molds. So definitely, I think this is exclusive to the set, and I believe I saw a lot of people saying they want to get the set just for the sake of the shark. I can't say I blame them. This shark is absolutely amazing. It is huge. It's very huge, and definitely not like the other sharks that LEGO's ever done. I think this is a great white shark, and got the fin. Dorsal fin with the lightsaber blade at the end? Interesting. Got 2 studs on here. Got the 4 studs at the bottom. There is a number on here. Not quite sure what that is for. Maybe it's for something that I shouldn't be showing the code for, but oh well. The prince, the face, very nice. Look at that nice grin he gives you when you close his mouth. It's actually pretty funny. Like, he gives you that smile. And yeah, in case you're wondering, yes, he can open his mouth, and my god, look inside that mouth. That is a lot of space. So this is a huge shark. Look, I'm literally gonna stick my whole finger in. Look at that. I can fit my entire finger in, and I just close. He's chomping my finger. But that's how big that hole is. I can stick my entire finger in, and not only that, I can actually feed it the gold if I want. Like, grab a pile of small pieces and just chuck them into the mouth and you'll feed the shark real good. And you can actually put actual fish inside, fish pieces, and feed them actual fish. Or if you are a fan of Jaws, then you can not really exactly fit a whole minifigure in, but you can hold the minifigure in place and chomp down and look like he's about to eat the poor dude. So definitely one of my favorite things of this set is this shark figure, great white shark. Absolutely amazing. I hope LEGO makes more of this shark because my god, this is just such an amazing figure. But can't forget about the stingray, the other thing in this set. Like I said earlier, I believe the stingray is a brand new animal for this year. He does appear in another set, so if you really want to get the stingray, don't get the set. If you just want the stingray, get the cheaper. I believe there's a smaller set that also has the stingray. I think it was the exploration base or something. But yeah, look at the nice, oh, I just dropped it. The nice tan color with like the blue dots on it. Very nice. Eyes, very nice. And yeah, which is my favorite. Well, both the stingray and the shark are very nice, but I do have to say the shark obviously has to come on top. Just some of the most awesome looking figures. So yeah, these are the animals. Alright, here is the minifigure selection for the set. We got 8 minifigures. So there's actually quite a good handful of minifigures here to choose from. And I believe these are some of the pretty good ones I've seen. So on my left here we got 2 scuba divers. This one's also scuba diver, but it's more of the photographer that sits in the cage we showed you earlier. And yeah, so this scuba diver, that's a pretty funky helmet, I'll say that. But definitely looks cool with the flippers, supply of tubes, everything. Once you take the helmet off, here's his face, no second face. But yeah, very nice figure. I don't really like the what's it called, the helmet all too much. This is the other one. This one's a woman, also with a flashlight. I believe that's not turned on. Turn that off, take off the helmet, no second face, of course. Just like that. And then we have who I'm going to assume is the captain of the ship, because she definitely looks like, oh my god, camera, come on. There we go. She definitely looks like, really, camera? There we go. She definitely looks like the captain of the ship, for sure. Yeah, very nice print, and the hair is a pretty nice piece too. And of course, there is no second face. Very nice. And then this is the helicopter pilot. As you probably guessed now, his job here is to fly that helicopter. Of course, you can move the goggles up and down on his helmet. If you take that off, there is no second face. Very simple figure, but I love it. So this is probably one of the ship crew members, or one of the ship staff. Just a fisherman's hat right there. He's got his walkie-talkie. Of course, no second face. That's the dealio. And I just dropped him. All right, this guy. This guy's name is called Haro Hubs. I may have mispronounced it, but my bad. I believe Haro Hubs is like like one of the National Geographic guys. I don't know. He's got a wrench here. He's got his life jacket on. I'm not going to take off his life jacket to show you the print. Oh yeah, he does have a second face. This one, he's got kind of like a more focused face. This one's a more cheerful face. And then we just got probably just like the crane guy. His job here is probably to work on the crane. He's got that nice beard with the nice cap. That's done pretty well. And yeah, life jacket. Nothing too much. And then finally, last but definitely not the least, we've got the photographer, scuba diver. He just sits in the cage. We've gotten this piece many times before. She does have a second face, but a much more freaked out face, probably, because of the great white. And she's got a point and shoot camera. So there's that. Alright, so that's basically the 8 minifigures. I would say my favorite one will have to be the crane worker. But of course, that's just my opinions. Alright, let's move on. Let's wrap up the review. So remember what I said in the beginning of the video? I gave a bit of a context saying like how in terms of playability, how well would this ship be. So yeah, like, given the fact that this thing is a pretty big size, I would say if you've got like a really small bathtub, guaranteeing you this ship will take up a good quarter of your bathtub, so tread with care. But honestly, it doesn't really matter if this thing floats in water or not. What matters is, of course, the playability on this thing just in total. Once again, this thing is $200, so value is a bit over, but if you think about the value, there is a ton of things. You get two, not one, but two of this huge, like, floatable boat piece, which is a massive mold and it's definitely not cheap to produce. And you get two of them, so that's already probably like one entire quarter of the total price. But, or actually even more, I don't even know. But like, again, I said earlier, these boat pieces is actually not the first time they used it. In back, I think like a couple years ago, they used like just a single one of those pieces to create another ocean exploration ship. This is just basically the big version. The shark, my favorite, absolute favorite part of this set. This is, I believe it's the brand new shark, but the utter size of him, I was very impressed when I saw it. Definitely one of my favorite things of the set. And yeah, very, very nice. And then the Stingray is also good, but of course you can get the Stingray in a much cheaper set. Shipwreck, it's what I expected from a Lego Shipwreck. Nothing too shabby. And then minifig selection, very nice. And the whole ship itself, I love the how you can swap out the cage to the submarine. It just all works out, and the crane is adjustable. That's all good. And yeah, so this set does have a lot to offer, and I definitely think it is worth the 200 bucks. It actually makes sense. And the fact that Lego City is actually pretty cheap compared to other Lego themes, so gotta appreciate them for this. So yeah, I'm gonna give this set an overall grade of 9 out of 10. The only few things I didn't really particularly like was, number one, I feel like the helicopter was just a completely downgrade. Didn't impress me at all. And just feel like there's a lot of like unused space over there on the ship as well. Could be filled, and yeah. But apart from that, ship satisfying. Once again, I said the shark is my favorite part, so a good 9 out of 10 will do the trick. And that's all I gotta say for this set. So again, I said, for you international viewers, I've said this in some other sets, I said, well, if you see this video just now and you're like, wait, didn't this set come out in June? Yeah, we didn't get it till August 24th, whereas the other countries in the world came out on June 1st. So yeah, lucky you guys. We kind of had to, it kind of tested our patience, you know, to get these sets. But regardless, I hope the wait was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure to hit that like button to show the support. And definitely subscribe to the channel for more, because I've got more coming your way very, very soon. Talk to you again in the next one. Bye for now.